Evening. This is, as people know me on Twitch, Senseless J, as my friends know me, Jason. Figure I might as well do a vlog type thing here, get it up on YouTube, and just let some people know where I've been. So, our story is one of the sad ones. We're rather fucked, for lack of a better word. I am coming to you live from the parking lot of a Motel 6, which has been where we've lived for the last year of our lives. The very beginning of the pandemic, the job that I was working got hit harder than most, and we fell behind on the bills pretty hard early. And the landlord that we had gave us the boot here in California approximately 1 week before the governor's memorandum went into effect. And we put what we could into a storage locker and left the rest, about 80% of everything we owned. Furniture, beds, toys, electronics. We got what we could. We got as much of the important stuff as we could. Uh, but yeah, we had to sacrifice most of what we owned and move into a motel. And then not long after that, like much of the rest of the country, California got completely shut down. So I had to go on unemployment. And then after a couple months, my job got opened back up, and I went back to work for 1 week until my boss fired me due to the pandemic. So I stayed on unemployment. And that's where we've been for a year. And the stimulus checks have come and gone, and they've been spent. And I hit my 12-month mark for unemployment. And the state of California decided when you hit that 12-month mark that you have to reapply, which is understandable. I mean, they want to know if things have changed, and I do get that. So I went ahead and reapplied. But the state of California decided that because I didn't have income, because I was on unemployment, for the third and fourth quarter and a very small amount of income for the second quarter, that they were going to decrease the amount of money that I was going to be getting on a weekly basis by $165 a week. So, with the amount that's coming in from unemployment, we're not even going to be able to afford to stay in a hotel. We're 1, maybe 2 weeks away from being out on the streets. My kids have been real troopers. They've been fantastic throughout the whole thing. I brought an Xbox along and we plug it into the TV so they got something to do, and they've got their computers from the school so they get their education, which is wonderful. But it's killing me. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about offing myself. Now, before anyone thinks that this is a cry for help bullshit thing, no, no. I would never do anything like that. I would not deprive my kids of a father, nor would I deprive myself of being there with them. But like anyone who's going through a absolutely crippling, depressing time in their life, thanks to the pandemic and the government not helping out and just circumstances beyond our control. I'm fucking depressed and I have anxiety and I don't sleep at night and it's just miserably hard. Over Christmas, we had the Santa talk with the kids. You know, my daughter is 11. It's about time that she starts figuring things out. My son is 9. It would have been nice to let him have a little bit more time with the fantasy, but being in a motel, no chimney, no anything, and primarily no money for us to buy presents in the guise of Santa. We had to have the talk with them about the Santa and the Tooth Fairy and the Easter Bunny and all that shit. So we had to steal had to steal a little bit of their childhood away. So yeah, I've told a number of people that I'll be happy with what you got because you could always have my life, and it's not something I really want anyone else to experience. And I understand there are a number of people out there who are millions in California alone, millions who are in the same boat, and millions across the country that are even worse off than we are. We've been lucky enough to have a roof over our heads and beds to sleep in for the last year, but this isn't living, this is barely surviving. My son has been watching a whole bunch of Mr. Beast videos. You know, Mr. Beast Gaming. Yeah! Keeps telling me that we should reach out to him. I promised if I ever did something like this that I would, at him on Twitter. But I also had to explain to him that that's not how real life works. All I want is a fucking job. I want a job so I can work, so I can make some money, so I can get a place, so I can have some stability for my kids. But I've put in numerous job applications that have gone nowhere. And if it did go somewhere, it went to a phone interview. And then they ghosted me. So I haven't been able to find a job. I submitted to the delivery app places, and they're not hiring for the area, so I'm on waiting lists there. It's just awful, awful. I don't ask for help lightly, especially not in a format like this. But I'm going to put this up on YouTube. On my channel, I'm going to link it in Twitter, and I'm going to reach out to some philanthropic organizations and just see if they can do anything for us, because I don't know where we're going to be in a week. We're down to the wire, and my family's helped us out a number of times, but they're stretched pretty thin as is themselves. I mean, we should leave California. We should have left California a while ago, but we can't even afford to leave. We're that magical land of fucked where you can't afford to stay, but you can't afford to go. So, for anyone who is watching, for anyone who has a buck or two to help, anything helps. Anything can make a difference. And if you can't, at least thanks for listening, and ask somebody in your own life how they're doing. Ask somebody how they're feeling. Just be an ear, be a shoulder. Do something for the people in your life. Because you never know what's really going on under the surface, and that's what this kind of is. So you all out in the internet world, cherish what you've got, love who's around, and just be good to each other, okay?